Hi folks, it's Chef Kevin. What I'm making tonight is organic chicken stock. Now, there are two things only necessary for a stock. That is water and bones. It can be chicken bones, beef bones, veal, or even fish. But I'm making organic chicken stock. Now, stock is a clear liquid, and like I said, there's just two elements, bones and water. But it may or may not include the flavors of vegetable and meat. Now, how does that differ from broth? Broth is very similar. It's also a clear liquid. And like stock, it may or may not have the flavors of vegetables and meat. But it's not as concentrated. You don't use as much bones in a broth. Now, what is bone broth or bone stock? Actually, that's a misnomer. It's a clear liquid similar to broth and stock, and it should have more concentration of bones than broth. Now, soup is not a clear liquid. Soup can be made from broth or stock, and it has solids in it such as rice, pasta, vegetables, and meat. Now, there's quite a lot of misinformation when it comes to what a stock really is. And now I have a couple of examples here of stocks. I have Swanson free-range chicken broth. Sounds good. And we have chicken stock in here, chicken flavor, sea salt, carrot juice, onion juice, garlic spice, tomato paste, turmeric, that's primarily for color. So it sounds good. Doesn't tell you how much bones they use per amount of fluid. Okay, I got Rachel Ray here. I love you, Rachel, but this is not a real stock. This is more like a broth. And we have filtered water, chicken stock base, chicken stock, natural chicken flavor, sea salt, yeast, oof, chicken fat, oof, garlic powder, vegetable stock, carrot, celery, onion, bay leaves, thyme, carrot powder. Sounds good. You should always read the labels because a lot of these stocks actually have some type of sugar in it, usually high fructose corn syrup or cane sugar, which is pretty much the same difference, sugar is sugar. Now, a stock can be used as the basis of a sauce, as well as soups and broths. And it's very good for sauces because it has a high concentration of gelatin from the bones. So you do not have to use additional thickeners like flour, arrowroot, stuff like that. So it's a much cleaner product. So it's getting kind of late. So I'm going to get right into this. I'm getting set up for my my bones right now. I have 10 pounds of organic chicken feet. Now, chicken feet are really good for making stock because it has a lot of bones in it, and you can extract a lot of gelatin from those feet. And they're inexpensive. You can use chicken wings, or you can use chicken parts like chicken backs, chicken legs, the carcass of a chicken. But you would have to use so much of that it really doesn't make sense. So chicken feet are really good. I have some over here. They're thawed out, and I'm going to rinse them, and I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, folks, this is what 10 pounds of chicken feet look like. Organic chicken feet. I bought these from www.blackwing.com. They sell a lot of organic products other than chicken. And you can go ahead and tell them Chef Kevin recommended these. And they'll probably say, who the hell is he? But anyway, I'm also using spring water. Poland spring water. I do not want to use water that has any fluoride in it, or chlorine, or lead. This is about as organic and healthy as you can get. Chicken stock and chicken soup are very healthy, so is chicken broth, because it has a lot of antioxidants, the gelatin's good, and all that stuff. I just do it because it tastes good. Okay, enough about that. Let's start the process. Okay, folks. I'm getting ready to go for it here. I just want to say that I've seen a lot of these videos on chicken stock, chicken soup, and all that. And they're always bragging about how easy it is. But I'm going to tell you right now, it is not easy at all if you do it properly. The cook time on a stock is minimum 12 hours. This way you extract all the gelatin from the bones. Now a broth is a lot quicker. You can do a broth in an hour minimum, so there's quite a lot less work. And once you start making your own stocks, it's like really hard to go back to those carton stocks, because this is so great. I have it every morning instead of coffee with milk or sugar. I'll just get some salt. Get some stock, add a little water, make a broth, put a little salt in there, a little pepper, and it gets me going really good. Okay, so here we go. I got 10 pounds of organic chicken feet. Right in there. I have my Poland spring water here. Now, the FDA does not regulate how stocks are made, and they don't tell you how much bones are in a gallon of water or so forth. So it's very loosely defined what a stock is, but I'm going to give you my recipe right now. 10 pounds of bones and 9 quarts of water. Okay? The bones have been thawed out. They're room temperature. The water is room temperature. And that's what you want. This way you leach out the gelatin from the bones. And that was just one. I'm going to add 2 more. Vinegar, distilled white vinegar. I'm going to add not much, say about 1/3 of a cup. And what that does, it helps extract the gelatin from the bones, and it doesn't affect the taste because there's so little vinegar in there. Now, I am not adding any salt or any pepper or any seasoning at all. And the reason I'm doing that is because I may want to reduce this down later if I think it's not thick enough. So if I was to add salt, it may become overly salted towards the end. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 more of these units, making it a total of 9 quarts. Bring it up to a near boil. I don't want to bring it up to a boil because then the solids will come into the liquid and make it cloudy. So, and the cook time on this is going to be probably about 14 to 16 hours depending upon my schedule tomorrow. Okay, thanks for watching. See you later. Just wanted to mention, folks, this is a 24-quart stock pot, stainless steel. You do not want to use aluminum because the aluminum may impart a bit of a metallic taste to your soup or your stock, whatever you're making. And especially if you're using any type of acidic product like tomato sauce, you do not want to use aluminum. So this is 24-quart stainless steel, made in China. Gotta love it. Okay, folks, it's simmering nice. I did not bring it up to a boil. You do not want to bring it up to a boil because then it becomes cloudy. The stock will become cloudy. What I'm doing now is I'm skimming the foam off the top. That is foam. Nobody really knows why there's always foam, but there is foam. It's disgusting. It'll cloud your stock. So you want to skim it off. You can use a ladle. I have a little perforated spoon here that I use. Okay, I'm going to skim it off every few hours. This is going to cook for at least 12 hours. Smells nice and disgusting. The worse it smells, the better it tastes. Okay, folks. I actually lucked out and I found some chicken backs in my fridge. Chicken backs are the core of the chicken after all the legs, wings, and breasts are cut off. As you can see, it has a fair amount of meat on it. It's mostly bone, but there is some meat within those bones, and that'll actually add a lot of flavor. If you just use bones, you're not going to get that much flavor. So you do have to use some meat. So I'm going to go ahead and put those into the pot and continue cooking for at least another 11 hours. Okay, so that's 6 pounds of chicken backs to go with the 10 pounds of chicken feet, and I also added another 3 quarts of water. Okay, folks, so it's been simmering for 14 hours, and what I have been doing is I've been skimming off the oil and putting it into a container here. Been doing that every couple of hours. There's going to be residual oil on the top of the containers that I'm going to decant them into, but after they become cold in the refrigerator, it's very easy to take the grease out because it comes to the surface and solidifies, and you can just scoop it out. Okay, I'm getting ready to put the aromatics in, and this is where the fun really starts. Let me show you my aromatics. Okay, folks, I have a bunch of vegetables here, and this is how you add a lot of flavor to the stock. These are the aromatics. They impart a huge flavor, and it also contributes to the aroma of the stock and the color as well. So let's start over here. I have some fresh dill. I have celery, carrots, and an onion. Those are the basic celery, carrots, and onions are the standard mirepoix in any soup. You can add whatever you like. I have rosemary here, thyme, parsley, ginger, nice and healthy, Mexican oregano. I have garlic, cumin seeds, hot pepper, bay leaves, juniper berries. Doesn't add to the taste, but it adds to the aroma. And black peppercorns. Now I'm not going to be using all this, of course, because that would just make it overly powerful. Probably a teaspoon of the black pepper, half teaspoon of juniper berries, teaspoon of the cumin seeds. I'm going to use the whole garlic because it's small. Maybe half teaspoon of the pepper, the oregano. I'm going to add, I'll probably just use this piece right here off the ginger. I'll slice it thinly. Parsley, I'll probably use about half of that. The thyme and the rosemary, a few sprigs will do. That stuff is very potent. The onion, I'm going to use the whole onion. I'm going to use the whole bag of carrots, half the celery, a good chunk of the dill, probably about a quarter of what you're looking at. And I also have some dried mushrooms. These really add a nice flavor. Okay, I'm going to add those to the pot and cook it for only 1 hour. An hour is all you need to do. An hour is all you need to cook to get the flavors from the onions. Sorry, from the vegetables. They render out very quickly. And the reason I didn't put the vegetables in earlier is because I didn't want it to become bitter. It would have been definitely overcooked if this was to cook for 14 hours. You just don't have to do that, and there's a chance you can make it bitter. One little thing I like to do with the onion is I'm going to put it in, I'm going to wash it, cut off the root, because that's where there may be some dirt. I'll cut this into about 6 pieces with the skin on. And the skin does have a certain flavor to it. It contributes flavor to the stock. And it also is very healthy, the skin. And I just lost my whole train of thought. Anyways, I'm going to wash the garlic, peel it a little bit, and just put it in like that. Okay. I'm not out of the woods yet, but I'm getting there, folks. Oh, what I meant to say is the skin contributes to the color of the stock as well. Color is flavor. Okay, my fellow foodies, I have to wrap this up. I got a date with a beautiful woman tonight. My wife. Just a word on the veggies. You don't have to use all those vegetables that I did. Those are the vegetables I like. You can use whatever you want. A lot of people use turnips or parsnips. Those are root vegetables. They're starchy, so I try to avoid them, but if you like it, you do it. And the vegetables that I did use are organic. Since the chicken is organic, there's no sense in throwing in unorganic vegetables. Of course, you pay more money for it, but that's just life in the big city. Okay, so 14 hours cooking, actually 16. You can see the meat has come from the bone. All that gets dumped. The vegetables have given up their taste, their flavor to the water. So all this is not good. All these solids are being extracted. And then I'm going to run this through a sieve to get the smaller particles out. And I'm going to put it in an ice bath so I can quickly cool it, decant it, and frigid. Frigid, not frigid. Okay, moving right along. Okay, I have my kitchen sink full of ice, adding some cold water. I have a clean pot. I have a strainer. And I'm going to strain this. Now in about 15-20 minutes this will actually be cool enough to decant and fridge. I just wanted to point out that this is the most efficient way to cool your stocks or your liquids. If you notice, the level of the ice is just about at the same height as the level of the liquid, and just within the last 5 minutes it has cooled down quite considerably. And maybe you can tell by looking at it that it's already quite gelatinous. It's very thick. And that's from all the collagen in the bones. And I did taste it. It tastes quite wonderful, I think. And I'm going to decant it soon. Going to be making some sauces and some beautiful chicken soup with that. Okay, so for all the hard work I did, this is the result of 16 hours plus cooking and prep time. I'm ending up with 8 quarts of stock, and don't forget I used 12 quarts of water. So apparently a lot of the water evaporated, but that's a given. Now some of these I filled up to the top almost, and some I filled up to about an inch below the rim, and these are the ones that I'll be freezing, because as you know, when it freezes it expands, and that'll stay in the freezer. It can stay for 4 or 5, even 6 weeks frozen. Now I just want to show you this little trick here. As I've been decanting from the stock pot, I keep the pot at an angle, and I don't use the last inch or so of the stock, because if the stock has any grit from it, from the vegetables or the chicken, whatever, it would be at the very bottom. Alright, now let me show you this while I'm showing. This is not even refrigerated, but take a look at how gelatinous this has become. that is a sign of a good stock. Now if you take the Rachael Ray stock and try this, it's just not going to work. That is the sign of a good stock. Now even though I only ended up with 8 quarts of stock, you have to remember this is stock. So if I was to make a soup out of these, generally I cut it with water, equal amount, but in this case I would cut it even more because this is going to be quite gelatinous, I can tell already. So this would probably make about 18 quarts of soup. Okay, I'm going to put these in the fridge and then I'm going to show you how to extract the fat from the top of that. Don't go nowhere. Alright, this is one of the 8 quarts of organic chicken stock that I made. I just wanted to show you what it looks like. I'm going to pour it into this bowl here. Now this came out of the fridge, not the freezer. I'm going to pour it into this bowl. What the hell's going on here? Wow. It's like Jell-O. Yeah, sorry folks, that's just my sick sense of humor. Okay, the reason it doesn't pour out is because it's solidified, it's gelatin. This is all the healthy stuff. This is the antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, all the good things that are in onions and garlic. Now it does have a little coating of fat on the top, and you can just pull that off very easily with the spoon. Sort of like that. I think you get the idea. So, again, I'd like to thank you for watching this long video, but it's important to get this information out. This stuff is so good. It's nice and healthy. It's a real great comfort food. I'm going to make sauces out of this. I'm going to make some soups. So, please check back. Thank you.